Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Houston Rockets video for you. Now we are going to talk about Cade Cunningham possibly making his way to the Houston Rockets. Now this is all just speculation before we get any deeper into the video. This is 100% speculation. There have been reports and rumors about this potentially happening. Most recently, you have just straight up reports from, I think it was Jeremy Woo, saying that Cade is not the clear-cut number one choice. Then The Athletic had an article earlier this week. So these are all just speculations and rumors and rumblings, but we're here to talk about it. Before I get any further into this video, if you enjoy it, hit that like button, hit that sub button. Now, the whole season, Cade Cunningham has been unanimous number one, and it's for a good reason. He is a very good basketball player. Now, in this video, I'm also going to go through some of the reasons why you should not draft him at number one, or why you just shouldn't draft Cade Cunningham. So this is going to be under the assumption here that the Pistons are still continuously growing on Jalen Green via workouts, via combine, whatever it is. Now, the nitpicking players like this, I feel so bad nitpicking players like this, but it's just for the sake of the argument, this is what I have to do. So Cade Cunningham is a fantastic basketball player, but we have to nitpick him here just to talk about the possibility of him joining the Houston Rockets. Now, he has a little bit of a passing problem. In my opinion, Cade Cunningham is one of the, if not the best passer in this upcoming draft class. Now, what he really does is he has a bad passing problem. So what will happen is he'll drive to the right. Let's say he drives to the right, and he either gets a double team or there just isn't anything there. Let's just say the whole defense actually kind of shifts towards Cade and he gets doubled. Open passer on the other side of the three-point line. Chucks it over. The problem is it's not necessarily a laser beam. It's more of like just a toss. So the defense can not only recover, but the defense can still possibly even steal the ball. So that's just one of the issues here. Now, some NBA analysts or draft scouters, they believe this is the reason to his relatively low assist number. Now, on the season, he averaged only 3.5 assists per 36 minutes. And if you compare that to a player like Luka Doncic before he entered the NBA, he had 6.5 assists per 36 minutes. But Doncic also played on a team that had 38% efficiency from deep and 49.5% from the field, whereas Cade played with a team who had 30.6% shooting from deep and 45.8% from the field, and that's excluding Cade Cunningham's exceptional 40% three-point percentage. So that's one thing. I don't think that's a huge issue at all, but it's just, you know, there's a little scratch. The other nitpick that some draft analysts, scouting guys, they like to get on is his ball handling problem. A lot of people think he needs to get more refined as a ball handler. I would agree with this. If he's going to be the lead guard, if he's going to be that Luka Doncic type player, he's going to have to get more tight. That handle's going to have to get tight. And it is occasional sloppiness, and it isn't really troublesome. It's just a scratch on his game. That's really all it is. When he gets sloppy, if he does this in the pros, he'll probably just find himself on the bench. So he'll learn that. Now, lastly, we're going to talk about kind of here his athleticness and his defensive issues, because he can be beat off the dribble by slashers occasionally. He just doesn't possess the quickest lateral quickness, and sometimes he just picks up too many fouls. So the footwork can definitely improve. These are all just things that the Pistons are, and all these NBA teams are going to be looking at Cade's game, and it could just possibly turn him off to the idea. But keep in mind, while he's an elite defender right now, he's 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan. So although he's not very athletic, he's not slow, he's not sluggish. So with all these tools, he should not be, at the very, very worst, he should not be a liability on the defensive end at all. Once he polishes his game, should not be a defensive liability. So, talking about Cade Cunningham's fit on the Houston Rockets, this is what I really like, because you can fit him at 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now, some analysts will get in on him for having doesn't really fit the best sometimes. Personally, I don't really see this because the Pistons have Killian Hayes, and it's kind of drafted almost as a project there at number 7. I don't think that the Pistons would be so sold on Killian Hayes that they would pass on Cade Cunningham because it doesn't fit well. So I don't think that there is a fitting problem at all. I don't think there would be a fitting problem on the Rockets, the Cavaliers, Toronto, whatever team drafts Cade Cunningham. There's not going to be an issue with fitting, because Cade can play. I mean, honestly, Cade can play 1 through 4. Can play on and off ball with equal ease. There's not really a problem there whatsoever. So, looking at Cade's weaknesses for the Detroit Pistons, I don't think any of the ones I just mentioned would be glaring enough to pass on him. What might end up happening is if Jalen Green just totally goes off in the combine, he might just improve his stock and become that number 1 overall player. And I'll use the Bulls with Patrick Williams last season, because at this time last year, not technically because of COVID, but a couple of weeks into, pretty much right after the lottery last season, Patrick Williams was not supposed to be drafted anywhere near the top 4, but he had some good workouts with the Bulls. The Bulls were really impressed by him. They were really impressed by his defensive mentality as well. So they went and they took the risk on Patrick Williams at number 4. So that could be something that you see happen with the Detroit Pistons. And obviously this is all just 100% speculation, kind of hoping some way, somehow, that they pick Jalen Green, or they'd be willing to do kind of either a sign and trade or just a pick swap, essentially. Now, let's talk let's get down to the business. What's a realistic possibility Cade Cunningham ends up as a Houston Rocket? I would say it's about 20%. You could probably go up to about 25%, but I would say it really is like a 1 in 5 chance. I don't think that Detroit is going to pass on Cade Cunningham at this current point in time, but you never know, man. If Jalen Green really puts out in this draft, in this combine, who knows? Who knows what could happen? Because the more I watch of Jalen Green, the more I read on Jalen Green, the more I want Jalen Green. So, honestly, if I had to pick right now, if I'm the Houston Rockets, Cade Cunningham goes number 1, I'm probably picking Jalen Green at number 2. That's just the way it's been the last couple of days for me. I mean, this guy is an it factor. He's exciting. His potential is through the roof. Not saying Cade Cunningham's not going to be a good player, or his potential isn't very high as well, but Jalen Green, to me, just his mentality, it's almost like that Kobe Bryant, that Allen Iverson, that just like, I'm better than you and I know it, but I have to prove it to you first. So we'll see what happens, but I'm curious to hear what your guys' thoughts on Cade Cunningham. Would you rather have Cade Cunningham or Jalen Green and Evan Mobley? Drop that down below in the comment below, and I'll see you guys later.